This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. We're joined now in our New York studio by the Los Angeles-based Chicano band Las Cafeteras. The band has been described by the Los Angeles Times as a uniquely Angeleno mishmash of punk, hip-hop, beat music, cumbia, and rock. This year, they released a new album called Tastes Like L.A. Here, they're performing their hit single, If I Was President, in our studio.
Señor presidente, le vengo a avisar, no tengo papeles para trabajar. Presidente, pregunto por qué matan al moreno con piel de café. Ah, ah, ah. Yeah. Ah. Si fuera presidente, honestamente, si fuera presidente, para mi gente, si fuera presidente, honestamente, presidente, para mi gente.
Check, 1, 2. You see, if I was president, I'd roll up my sleeves as I face the congregation. First thing I do is free education. And every third period, we practice meditation. Every third period, we practice meditation like a brown Robin Hood. I'd take from the rich and I'd give to the poor, so my little sister ain't gotta be hungry no more. And my first lady would be my mom, cause she smacked me at the first out of drone strikes and dropping bombs. And I'd free all my poor black and brown kids that got caught up in 3 strikes. And when they get out, they getting free bikes, so they could ride to the future, not to their past. Go to the store, get some chips with no GMO, cause my folks, we got a right to know. And if you don't know, now you know. Me gusta la lima, me gusta limón, pero no me gusta tanta corrupción. Me gusta la lima, me gusta limón, pero no me gusta tanta corrupción.
Si fuera presidente, para mi gente, si fuera presidente, honestamente, presidente, para mi gente.
At my inauguration, I burned tobacco at the opening. Send thanks and prayers to Creator and our living bees then. I'd sit you down with your abuelita, rewrite history so our kids could see where we came from and a new destiny. From Flint to Cali, water flowing pure and free. My Department of Peace will melt guns into bike racks. Budget cuts to corporate kickbacks. If I was president, well, there'd still be drama. Takes a village, stickula, generational trauma. So shake your spine, put your hands up high. We got a different kind of party in the White House tonight. If I was president, hey, what would I do if I was president? Hey, I'd ask you if you were president. Hey, what would you do if it was you or you? Me gusta la lima, me gusta limón, pero no me gusta tanta corrupción. Gusta la lima, me gusta limón, pero no me gusta tanta corrupción. My people, it's 2017. We can't wait on no president, no governor, no city council to make it for us. It's on each one of us in our home, our families, our communities. Imagine how beautiful the world could be if we just all took that next step. Hey, so sing along, my people. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, ah, hey, hey, hey.
Si yo fuera presidente pa' toda la gente, si yo fuera presidente pa' toda la gente, si yo fuera presidente pa' toda
That's the Los Angeles-based Chicano band Las Cafeteras. Well, for more, we're joined by 2 of its 6 members, 2 co-founders of the band, Hector Flores and Denise Carlos. Welcome both to Democracy Now!
Good to be here.
So talk about this song. Talk about this hit song on your new album, Tastes of L.A. Denise.
Well, you know, it's it's hard to talk about leadership and presidency in these times, and oftentimes I think we're able to do a lot of critique to folks who make the rules, and we just were sitting around one day, and we're like, what would we really do in our neighborhoods if we can't make big policy changes? How is it up to us? And how do we write these songs that really connect with the youth of our neighborhoods, with our families, and what do we have access to? What is the power that we have access to?
Yeah. So it's actually an old school son jarocho song. There's a song, old school song called Señor Presidente. And so we would play that old school jam, but you know, we Chicana kids from LA, and so we would mix in hip hop and cumbia, and just like Denise said, like a lot of it's like, I think in the left, we're always talking about what we're against. Mm-hmm. And for us, we really want to reimagine and really think what we're for. Because the day is coming and the day is here where we need to push forward an agenda of what we're for. And that's what the song was really about. Like, what would I do? You know, what would I push for? And actually, 3 months leading up to the recording, I went to like Food for Less. And every time I went to go buy food, I would ask the workers, I said, hey, if you were president for a day, what was the first thing you would do? And basically their responses, or the lyrics that I wrote for my piece. Mm-hmm. They always said education. They said, man, you know, I'd get my cousin out of jail because he shouldn't be in there for weed, and like things like that. And that's sort of what we put into the song. Mm. Yeah.
And Las Cafeteras, the name of your band, what does it mean?
It comes from a space called the East Side Cafe in Northeast LA, and it is a space that had this wild imagination about self-determination and creating a world where many worlds exist. And this is really the narrative and the teachings of the Zapatistas in Chiapas, Mexico, of not responding to a government that doesn't identify or recognize them, but really taking it upon themselves to govern themselves in a way that they find holds dignity. And so for us in those days, it was a space that really gave us, again, the imagination of more. How do we build a world where we fit and where we're powerful and where our voice is heard? And so it's a beautiful, beautiful root of how we as Las Cafeteras started playing music, where we never grew up playing music. And it was, for many of us, first time that we even sang out loud in front of people. Yeah. And as Chicanas and Chicanos, you know, always being told to hush up, that we don't deserve the resources that are out there, that we don't belong in schools, and that we're not beautiful, and that we don't deserve to love each other and ourselves. It was really radical at the time, but we really want to make it this mainstream idea of self-determination, of self-love, of being powerful in our communities.
And then they would call us Los Cafeteros from the East Side Cafe. Mm-hmm. But we had women, when we'd go out and play, they'd be, oh, here's the Cafeteros from the East Side Cafe. But we had women in the crew, and so, you know, if you're they're Cafeteras. And so when we decided to form this group, you know, we wanted to identify more with the feminine and challenge patriarchy in language. Like English and Spanish are very machista languages, very masculine languages that honor men. And so we wanted to take on a name where if we have women, then we should take on the feminine, and we're called Las Cafeteras.